2 games enter, 1 game leaves. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and in today's versus matchup, we're pitting PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds against the Battle Royale mode in Fortnite. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this matchup, we're taking a look at which last player standing shooter is the best in the genre. For the purposes of this video, let's just forget which came first and who is suing whom. Round 1, Map. One of the key components of the Battle Royale type game is its map. The play area in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is a large, sprawling area with different types of terrain and structure. This creates a rich and diverse experience, even when you are playing on the same map over and over again. A lot of matches feel quite different depending on where you land and where the circle is. On top of that, PUBG also has added weather effects like fog and rain, both of which add a little bit of variety and create more tense gaming experiences. On the other hand, Fortnite has a much smaller area within which to kill each other. We have to admit that flying bus, that's a cool concept. Having a smaller area can create a faster pace of play with more action and less hiding, but it also means the scenery is a lot less diverse. The bright green grass can become a bit boring, you know? That said, Fortnite does have a nice variety of buildings, and players can build their own structures to alter the map, thereby affecting the gameplay in interesting ways, but due to the larger and more diverse area, with another one on the way soon, PUBG takes round 1. Winner, PUBG. Round 2, Art Style. Obviously, games are inherently visual as a medium, so graphics and art style are extremely important. But does realism beat style? PUBG definitely goes for a realistic art style, which aims to get players feeling immersed in their game. Unfortunately, the level of detail in the game and lack of optimization can create problems for gaming rigs that are less beefy. Additionally, the realistic look makes any low-resolution texture stand out all that much more. So, in trying to be a bit more immersive and realistic, the visuals and immersion kinda suffer at times. Going in pretty much the opposite direction entirely, Fortnite is a lot more cartoony, in the tradition of games like Team Fortress 2. While that definitely is not everyone's cup of tea, it's at least very consistent throughout. The style also allows the game to be better optimized. The Fortnite developers don't have to worry about super resolution textures eating up system memory or slowing down read and write speeds. Because of this, Fortnite offers a much more consistent and smooth graphical experience. While some players may prefer PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds simply because it doesn't look like a cartoon, bro, Fortnite still offers consistency and a wholly unique art direction, which gives it a win for round 2. Winner, Fortnite. Round 3, Mobility. In a game that's all about evading your enemies and killing them, mobility is super important. The PUBG developers understand that players need the necessary tools to kill each other effectively. That's why it has all the stances that you'd expect from a shooter. Walking, running, and diving are all important elements to the gameplay. Being able to crouch and go prone means that the player has many more options when it comes to being stealthy or firing from a covered position. On top of all that, PUBG also has vehicles, which add a whole extra dimension to the game. In contrast, Fortnite takes a much more straightforward approach. There's no going prone here, so the player never really feels like they're being stealthy. This basically eliminates that kind of playstyle almost completely. There are also no vehicles in the game, so moving around the map is a much more different experience. It's not necessarily slower because the map is smaller, but it does remove the sense of vulnerability and risk when driving a car down the road, knowing that other players are probably tracking you in their sights. However, Fortnite does add upward mobility in the form of player-built structures. This adds a bit of depth to the gameplay that PUBG doesn't necessarily have. Unfortunately, that's really not enough to take the round, so PUBG wins. Winner, PUBG. Round 4, Community.
I hear shots from everywhere.
Oftentimes, what separates a great game from a terrible game isn't the game itself, but the community that plays it. Online games with open voice comms can be notoriously toxic. Unfortunately, communication is one of the most important aspects of team-based games like PUBG or Fortnite, which means that you'll pretty much have to interact with some questionable individuals if you want to stand a chance at winning. On top of that, PUBG kinda has a problem with hacking these days, so players can sometimes expect to see others cheat their way to victory.
All day I was thinking about this game.
Since Fortnite is the newer, less popular game, it has a smaller community. And with a smaller community, you generally get a slightly nicer group of people. Even streamers of the game are more relaxed and curse a lot less than others. The developers also make a better effort to reach out to their player base. These are good signs for a new game, and hopefully things stay the same even as the game's player base grows. Because games of Fortnite just seem to end up being a lot friendlier, this point goes to them. Winner, Fortnite. Round 5, Weapons and Abilities. This is my rifle. There are many others like it, but I need a 4x scope for it. Variety is the spice of life, and the more weapons, the more fun, right? PUBG developers made sure to give players a nice variety of tools to choose from. They each have mostly different playstyle from each other, and on top of that, you can add mods and attachments for even more variety. This also adds depth to the game's loot system because you're never quite sure what you're gonna find. Maybe you'll get your favorite sniper rifle, or maybe you'll just find another crossbow. Again, Fortnite takes a more streamlined approach to this aspect of gameplay. Opting for less variety means that players will more easily find the kind of weapon they might want. The guns also handle a lot more differently than in PUBG. Fortnite takes an actiony and arcadey approach. While this means more blasting them in the face fun, it also means less depth to the gameplay. Fortnite does have a leg up in abilities though, since the player can build structures. But due to variety and a much higher skill ceiling, PUBG wins this round too. Well, there you have it. At a score of 3-2, PUBG is winner winner, chicken dinner. Be sure to debate with civility in the comments. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.